Yeah, that thing.
Take two.
Welcome back to the Wildcat podcast. I am here with, first time on the show, Kelton Board.
Woo!
He is the replacement for Brittany Sidebottom.
He's also new in the class as well.
We have our ex-Coast Ho-Go producer, Ghost. What am I trying
I don't know.
I am tired.
Well, okay, number one, you're tired and you're looking at all this stuff up here, and I think you might be scared.
Don't be scared.
This is the ex-Ghost producer, Mr. Clements.
Also known as the guy who came back from the dead to reproduce the show. Re-produce the show.
And our special guest of the day, Mr. Montes.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Mr. Montes. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to eat some spicy stuff.
You know what? So am I.
I'm afraid.
Can we just talk about how it's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday today?
You know, yeah.
That's been my entire day so far. It's just,
My usual word for it is Muse Day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and then tomorrow will be Wednesday,
Yep.
and then Thursday will be Words Day, and then Friday will be Friday.
Friday. And then, just so you guys can get hyped, Monday, we have off.
Yes, not only do
two
you
Mondays
guys.
in a row.
Again.
Yeah, well, okay,
What was
you
it
guys get
this
2
month?
Mondays off.
Oh, yeah. What was it this Monday for?
Collaboration Day.
And next Monday is President's Day.
Yep.
If you saw teachers running around town yesterday, we were doing a little scavenger hunt. So that was a good time.
Well, they were. I don't know if we were. No, I'm joking. We were.
Were we in the same group?
Yeah, we were.
That was a whole day ago, Mr. Clements.
I'm just gonna quote that. That's been a whole day.
It was a whole day.
So to let you guys know what's going on over here. So yeah, I'm starting to smell it too. Now it's like burning my nostrils here.
We should get started.
You said, oh yeah, this will be nothing. This will be fine.
So I think it was like during one of the after one of the live streams, Mr. Montes comes up to me and he's like, "So, no, it wasn't during one of the live streams. It was actually during one of the snow days where both you and I came to work."
Oh, that's right.
And Mr. Montes comes up. We were both in the library, and he's like, "So, what can I do to get on the podcast?" And I'm like, "What you just did just now. Just ask me." And then he's like, "All right, we'll do that." And then I think a couple weeks later, you came up to me and you said, "I've got all these sauces, these spicy sauces. We should do something kind of like the hot ones."
Yes.
So.
I like how we're the ones smiling, and the people on the outside are just like, I don't know, man.
Because you two say like, oh yeah, this will be easy for us.
Well, I mean, Hispanic Cajun guy here, and then full on Hispanic guy.
It's addicting, I think.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when I was in high school, when I was your guys' age, I remember they would serve chili.
100 years ago.
Yeah, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, that's why I had the dinosaur head. I was a dinosaur hunter. Anyways, what was it? So when I was your guys' age in high school, one of the things that they would always serve up is chili, and every time they served chili, this is right around the time where my taste buds started enjoying spicy foods, and so every time they served chili, it always tasted so bland to me until I put half a pound of black pepper in it.
that'll do it. It was, for me, it was and this is kind of silly because there's weird cultural gender or whatever. For me, it was you weren't a man unless you ate spicy stuff. My dad would just eat jalapenos.
Put some hair on your chest.
Something like that. And so I was like, oh, so I'm not a man unless so I didn't like it at first, but then there's something about the chemicals that it releases in your brain to relieve the pain that becomes addicting. So I ended up going off the deep end with it. And so now
The taste that melts your mouth. Oh yeah, love it.
yeah, literally.
So yeah.
Me and Kelton are sitting here we're about to die.
Yeah.
You're not gonna die, boys.
We're actually warming you up from the long winter months. This
Just
is
from
your
us.
Groundhog Day. If you see your shadow, good luck.
Should we start? What is it? What do we got this?
So what have you got?
What is the
Let us know.
non-spicy?
Left to right, or I guess right to left for y'all. We got the least spiciest to the bad boy over there. This first one, I don't even know how to say that. Tamuli Peka. It's a sweet tamarind smoky chili sauce. This is actually
Ooh.
something that you would marinate a steak or if you're making a stir fry or something. So this is more of a marinade, and it's a little bit more sweet than anything else. So
That looks evilly red.
it's gotta look something, right? And that one's green, so don't let it scare you. I'm gonna go ahead and take the one with the most sauce, and then we can just pass it around. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'll take the one with the second most, or the one that seeped in the most.
Yeah, just take the little one. Take the little one. And like, I guess like there aren't any rules on this show, right? Like, if you want to, you can eat around the chip. We'll do it all together, and then what? Like, if you want out, just say you're out, and you're out.
I mean, if anything, tamarind.
He's going back for more.
You need to take both chips.
Tamarind. Well, I might.
Tamarind's a fruit.
Yeah, I mean, like it looks like it's a very dry fruit, but you can make like a really delicious juice out of it. So
Yeah. Three,
Yeah.
2, 1.
here we go.
Cheers. Not bad. So it's sweet at first, and then the second.
I love the secondary burn to it. I love the secondary burn. Like it's a little afterburn to it. Now it is getting to the back of my throat.
So my mouth was dry to begin with. That doesn't help at all.
And we got chips.
Yeah, so it's
go
salt
ahead.
too. So to let you guys know,
Look at this
There you
guy.
go.
Look at this guy.
Well, it's on like the tip of my tongue because that's just what I hit
It's
first.
on the back
Yeah.
of my throat.
Yeah. I don't know if that's chip or spice. I'm gonna say that's chip.
probably. I mean, like for me, like I feel it, and it's like a nice long burn to it. So yeah. Reason why we have 5 chips is we were supposed to have Mr. Moore on as well. Mr. Moore on as well. And so. What was it? I mean, like that's how we've been advertising it, but he's busy right now. I think
Handling some business down at the
He's
business.
scared.
sounds like it. Yeah. So
I'm just gonna say.
I'm saying it sounds like he's handling business at the middle school. Not that he's scared.
Yeah.
Mr. Moore seems to be the least scared guy that I could ever know. Oh man. So yeah, that has a nice, like, it's a sweet but still burn to it and a little bit of a tang
It's
to
one of
it.
those things that like breaks down meat really well. So you just set your steak in it or something overnight and tenderizes the snot out of it. So just like it did your mouth.
Yeah.
Sick.
Doing all right there, Alex?
He's starting to feel it now. In his throat.
It's like right here. It's like
Yeah.
What would we
right
put the
there.
chip?
It's not even like
Oh yeah, you might want
I
to
didn't
angle a
even,
little bit more, Alex.
Oh,
your,
yeah.
your back's to the camera there.
The
I
thing
didn't even
about
taste it all that much. All I just feel is like the burn.
Yeah.
the thing you gotta be careful about is whenever they advertise hot sauce as having fruit in it, you know that it's gonna be like kind of a thing.
Yeah.
This one is a next step up, and like it's kind of follows that
Ooh,
same
mango.
pattern. Yeah, mango and habanero.
Oh.
So this one's like a lighter sauce. I don't think this one's too bad, and as you can tell, like this is one I cook with a lot. So I'll take this guy.
I've got a small story to tell with about habaneros that I've been telling family members over the week, but I'll tell that
Start
here.
Yeah,
with small chips.
there you go, smart guy.
There you go. Which one's got? I think this one's got more on it. So
Sweet.
there we go. All right. I'll tell the story after we take this chip,
Sweet.
and if we survive.
We'll be fine. Cheers. I almost feel like that one should have been number 1.
Yeah.
I tasted more chip than anything else.
So he's maybe a little more bland.
Eh.
My bad.
No, I mean it still tasted good though. It still tasted good. I mean, when I'm thinking habanero, I'm thinking like also super hot. Now it's starting to get that burn to it a little bit. So
Sleepers. They call them
you all right?
Hitting my asthma.
Oh no. We got
You're gonna be
your
okay. I
already?
mean, if you want to tap out, you can tap out. But
Don't tap on around too.
I have asthma anyway.
That's what I like about when you
If
start
I
one of
start,
these things.
if I start like dying, just that's when I'll
Get the
probably tap out.
albuterol.
well, that's why we have the milk too. So yeah.
Well, because it's not even like burning all that much.
No, that one wasn't bad. I
Yeah.
feel like that should have been maybe number 1.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So my story with habaneros is actually goes like this. When I was a kid, I remember my mom was working at Russell Stover's candy factory.
What?
Abilene.
Yep, Abilene. And so she would take home candy every now and then, some chocolates and stuff. And there was like one that was like a cluster. It was probably about like this size of my palm.
Peanut cluster.
I think it was a peanut cluster, but with caramel and all that. And so whenever she would take home some, she would put it in the fridge and all that, and I felt like having like a bit of a snack in the evening. Well, so I grabbed the cluster, and I just wanted half of it. So I'm looking for a knife. I'm like, searching for a knife for a little bit. And I'm like, Mom, where's a knife? And she's like, well, I just cleaned one. It's right there on the counter. And so she points it at me and she gives it to me. I cut into the chocolate, and without thinking, I just I eat the chocolate. My mouth started burning. What ended up happening was that she gave me a knife that she had just recently cut a habanero with, without washing it afterward.
Dang. Dude, in that same vein, don't ever. You need to have 2 different blenders.
Yeah.
In a household, I think, because my family doesn't wash stuff out that well.
Mm-hmm.
They do red chili in one, and then the same one they like try to do smoothies.
Oh yeah.
And so we they don't clean it out, and they don't seed the peppers because they want it hot. We
Yeah.
had like spicy smoothies. It's probably the worst thing ever. So it was like if you put that in a smoothie.
Mm.
So
Oh man.
word to the wise.
Tabasco.
That's sriracha.
Sriracha.
Great segue.
I just saw it was like red.
That's as red as red gets. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. There's like a shine. There's a shine like on those. So
I think there's a thing about sauces is that we think red and we think super hot, but it's really when you get to greens and browns.
oh snap! Well,
Orange.
there might be a significant jump between 3 and 4.
Yeah, sriracha's more like a ketchup. in my opinion, it's more like a ketchup.
Shall we? Okay,
Yeah.
which one is the big boy here?
So,
this guy.
as we're getting to sriracha as well, I do have one more
There's a
thing with
little
a
bit
habanero. I did also once try to cook a backyard chili, but I needed a roasted habanero, and we just had some fresh ones. So in order to roast it, I had to roast it on the stove first, and
I'm
almost
actually
set
gonna
my
break mine
house on
like a
fire.
sandwich.
Smart.
All right, here we go, sriracha.
Cheers. Put it on edge. No big deal.
I got a bit of an oniony taste to it
Yeah, it's
too.
like
so.
garlicky for sure.
Yeah.
Be brave.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie War Horse?
I have not actually.
I have. I had to watch it in like middle school.
You had to watch it? Is that like the same time era as that was that new movie, 1917?
I don't remember.
Everybody's like hyped about it because it looks like one long shot. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
like no cuts basically.
No cuts, yeah.
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 Oh wow. Kind of like a Birdman in a way. Like
I never saw that.
it. Okay, so you think it's a superhero movie, but actually it's more of an art house movie.
Is it sad?
No, not really. Like I said, it's more art house. It's like about an actor trying to, like he's
It was Michael Keaton, right?
yeah, and so like it's kind of like like what if Michael Keaton kind of like just went to Broadway after doing Batman, in that kind of vein. But there's also like a lot of supernatural elements to it. So
I remember. Didn't the soundtrack have a lot of hype? Because I remember that.
I think so.
Whiplash came out at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Whiplash is that movie about the drum set player.
Those are actually not as bad as I thought it'd be.
Look at this guy, tough
The
guy.
sriracha one kills me.
So
Wait till
okay.
you get
So,
disease.
I know. I'm just
Well,
like.
the heat is different when you talk about green versus red chili.
mhm.
I think it's a little brighter. So
What are your guys' experiences with spices?
Never had it before until now.
Really?
look at this guy.
He's handling it.
I don't even put pepper on my food.
Well, I do. At least I do that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Season your food.
I put
Okay.
salt on my food.
Salt.
See, hamburgers always have to have salt and pepper, no matter what, unless you're doing Tony Satchery's on that one.
Yeah, that's the Cajun in you.
Oh yes, oh yes. All right, so what do we got next, Montes?
What is this? Like a sweet Thai green chili? It's a really cool label.
Hot Thai.
Hot Thai.
Ooh.
Sorry, I lied about the sweet.
Well, maybe the other one is sweet Thai.
No.
Nope.
No, there's nothing sweet about the next 3 sauces.
There's nothing sweet. It's just pain.
It gets kind of spicy. The cool thing about these is like Mr. Clement said, I'm a big fan of that Hot Ones show.
Yeah.
And for Christmas, I got a subscription to. They send you like 3 or 4 different sauces every month. So the end of this week, probably should have waited one more week, but end of this week, this comes a new shipment. The one that came in last were these 4. I have that one, and that one.
Ooh.
Sick. Green chili time, a little brighter. If you guys have you ever had Thai food before? There's like a Thai restaurant in Wichita.
No.
It's kind of like Chinese food, a lot more noodles, and then a lot more sauce-based stuff. So,
Is that the one that they sell pho?
pho is Thai food. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
Vietnamese.
No, that's Vietnamese.
Pho
Yeah.
is, and that's spelled P-H-O. And
Mhm.
I always called it pho until they made fun of me. It's funny too because you can't really tell. Maybe you can tell a little bit, but more my eye shape than anything.
Mhm.
When I walk into one of those restaurants, they're like, "Oh, you're probably one of us."
And so they start speaking Thai.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, slow down, brother." Like, so, yep. Shall we?
All right, hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, 1 second. Look, he's diving in first. I'm gonna get that big boy.
I was gonna say I'm trying to get the smallest one.
That's
look
that's
at
how
that
he's
one.
surviving.
Oh, it's like from the time that we've sauced the chip, you can tell it's like inlaid into it.
Yeah, this thing is
Yeah.
soaked in.
Yeah. This one's good to go.
Oops. That was broken.
You're fine.
Eh.
You know what we're gonna do is just leave these on Mr. Moore's desk.
Either that, or I'm gonna have like really surprised students when they come in for lunch next.
You could just tell them to try that last one. Anyway, here's what is it? Hot Thai chili, not sweet Thai chili.
Not sweet.
Good luck.
All right, here we go.
But it is kind of sweet
Mm.
until it's not.
It's got that like kind of lemony zest to it.
There's a lot of lemon. Feeling it? Take
You
a
can
drink.
tap out
Take
if
a
you
drink,
want.
Take a drink. Take a drink.
No shame in going 4 rounds in and tapping out.
Yeah, those are the. Yep.
Saving my milk.
Smart. I've just been sipping on it.
Yeah, about the same here.
Yeah, that one's not.
That was about as bad as the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
interested in this
The
one.
burn
though.
isn't as long as the.
It
I think
is
it's the
kind
black
of
that's scary,
That. Oh yeah. That's like a special release too. The thing about the Thai stuff is just like so bright,
Mhm.
but like you said, there's a lot of lemon and lime,
Yeah,
and a lot of Thai food too. They cook with a lot of lemon and lime. So
it kind of reminds me of what is it, salsa verde.
yeah,
Like-
green chili.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like my mom makes that all the time, and you know, I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be like the same ingredients, but I mean, like there'll be like stuff like what is it, the tomatillos and
Yeah.
you know, some lime juice and stuff like that.
For
so
sure.
I don't know if the acidic nature of juices will help. Like with like maybe it's like a differing factor, depends on like the fruit. Like if it's like, you know, maybe certain fruits like juices like how acidic it is will like aid in burning your throat or aid in like coating it and not having
Coating
it
it, yeah,
burn so
coating it.
much. So
I don't know. I wish I knew more about it. They do measure like the spiciness of the hot sauce on what's called the Scoville scale,
mhm.
and I'm sure if you look on one of these, it'll tell you.
Yeah, that's actually what I've been looking for this whole time for like scales or
Yeah.
like measurements.
Does it have anything?
Because this one has some on the side.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I haven't seen
Oh,
anything
yeah,
else
3.
on any of these other ones.
A lot of people are kind of skeptical too, because like
Everyone has different like tastes.
yeah, and they'll say like 3 million Scovilles,
That's really not.
and it's like, well, at the same time, 3 million of anything is kind of. I mean, it is conceivable to. I don't know. I've never seen 3 million of anything.
I'm not seeing anything about schools or ratings on here, so
Hmm.
Well,
already looked over this one too.
he's doing his research.
He's
I dig that.
inspecting every single one of them.
Smart man. I forget what the deal with this. It was like a special release of the
This one?
sauce number 5. It's like all black for some reason, and that was a hype. El Yucateco. This sauce is usually red, like bright red.
Ooh.
And for some reason, what is it? It's the
Black Label Reserve.
Black Label Reserve. I don't know. So maybe there's like extra black pepper, but that is for sure like green. I think it's green chilies.
Looks like it. Yeah, I mean, like that's what it has on the label.
Sick. Should we just jump in? Let's finish these off,
You know, yeah.
and that way we can die in the heat for the rest of this podcast. Where's the next big boy? It's kind of a tie.
I think this one's more evenly poured.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Alex is thinking twice and
Nice little-
thinking, why did I sign
Why
back
do
up
I
for this
agree to
class?
this?
They did not say this in the course description, so.
You will be eating various spicy
You know
sauces
who we need to
sometime
do
in a
this with
podcast.
is Mrs. Weedle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we could talk about, we could bring even hotter stuff and find out how to cut the heat properly.
saliva.
ooh, yeah. that would
Everybody
be good.
says milk, but let's find out.
Yeah, here we go.
It's like salty.
At least the salt.
I think that would be good for like something that's like barbecued, you know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's what
smoky
it reminded
too.
me of.
It's like salty smoky. That one didn't hit as hard. How you doing?
My ancestry is mostly German,
That's all right.
so I'm dying.
Dude. What's that place down in Wichita? Prost? There's like a little market, and they have German food, and I hear like their answer, the German food answer to macaroni and cheese is like, I don't know what it's called. One of my friends used to work down there, and they would bring food back home, and I'd
Right.
just be like, oh, so, yeah, that one not too bad.
So, yeah, that one's good. Before we go to the next one, Mr. Montes here, he's our band director. For those who are, not in the know, like they're not students, I think we might have like a few people who, who are subscribed to the channel that are not, students
cool,
and all
cool,
that. So, so this is your first year as the band director,
It's
right?
my first year, yeah.
How are you liking it so far?
I am loving it so far. This is like the kind of place where you can come and learn about, just learn about like the craft and how to teach. And this is such a wonderful community to jump into that because there are high expectations, but at the same time, I've received a lot of grace from my students.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of the get to know each other period and find out how we work and plan on being here for a while. So.
I mean, it's like a family, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, families fight sometimes, but at the end of the day, we get it figured out and we stick together, and that's the only way you get things done. So.
You guys have any questions for Mr. Montes?
No.
About band or
Oh,
life
I'm
or
not
anything?
Mr. Blinko, by the way. I know we have the same
You both
haircut,
kind of.
and then we got some.
I
of the
see
same
it now.
glasses. So.
And ironically enough, we were both on the same team yesterday for the scavenger hunt.
We should have gotten a. But yeah, I get that sometimes. People are like, wait. Yeah.
Ooh, I guess my next question then is like, okay, so out of all the songs so far that the band has played under your tutelage, what's your favorite?
Oh man, it's like picking a favorite kid. You can't pick a favorite kid.
Okay, so then what would be like your top 5 in no specific order?
Well, like it's weird to think about band in seasons, but since it's so, like the band and the athletics go hand in hand, like you wouldn't go to a football game and not expect a marching band. You wouldn't go to a basketball game and not expect like a pep band. So like when we have different seasons, it's like different vibes and different stages of the band's maturity, right? Like when you're just starting to play again together in the fall, so things are going to sound a little different, and you're focusing mostly on I don't know, like time or something. And then now that we're inside in pep band, we have to worry about where our sound is going, and it's very different playing on a football field than playing in, like, we call it the toilet bowl, because the sound is so, you could snap in the gym and you can hear it easily.
Oh yeah,
Seconds.
it is wonderfully constructed to be able to bounce that sound right back.
And so now we've kind of been training the band to articulate, which is maybe what the beginning of each note sounds like, and then pay special attention to what the end of each note sounds like. Because when you're playing for a crowd, and it's super loud, and you're playing in a toilet bowl, it's got to sound a little different than when you're outside.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you guys have debuted some new songs for pep band just for basketball season than you guys had in football season.
That's
Correct?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just read, and we're getting ready to cut. What is it? The song by Aha, "Take on Me."
Oh yeah.
The band loves meme songs for some reason, and that's So probably next Tuesday. Come on by if you want to hear. "Take on Me" is going to be new, and then a while ago we haven't cut it down so that we could put it in our folders. but we read an arrangement of "Humble" by Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh.
So that one was kind of interesting. So yeah, we're just trying to spice up our pep band life.
Mhm.
It's like anything, right? If you do the same thing over and over and over, you're excited for something new.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think then I might have to try to experiment and like get like a really long XLR cable and like,
Just-
plant a microphone like right next
Yeah,
to you
man.
guys.
If you've ever been to a basketball game, the two songs that the band kids that won't be quiet about and they want to play, they play Rage, like Rage Against the Machine, and then Funky Town. Those are their two jams. So it's always a good time to
Yeah.
watch them play. So. And they don't need a conductor, so I get to go like walk away and get a hot dog or something. So
Oh man, you're lucky on that one.
yeah, for sure.
Alex has seen me do the live streams, and I'm stuck behind a vise of a table.
Oh yeah, how do you get concessions? Who do you send out?
I don't.
You just come pre-prepped.
Well, I mean, like I don't usually carry cash on me, so I don't usually get concessions.
Cash life can be dangerous.
Yeah, and well, I mean, most of my thing is just more of like water and keeping the throat lubricated
You
and all
gotta
that.
keep that $1 million voice happening.
I almost lost it over the Wildcat Classic
Classic?
weekend. Yeah, well, calling 7 games and all that.
There is a guy that is famous for calling all the high school marching events for
Mhm.
this national thing called Bands of America. His name's Dan Potter.
Oh yeah.
And then he also announces for Drum Corps International, which is like professional marching band over the summer. Same guy. And so whenever you hear his voice, you're like, oh man, that's Dan Potter. And so over the past couple summers, since like social media has been the thing, kids do like impressions of Dan Potter, and it's
Yeah.
pretty funny. So I feel you on the announcing thing.
Well, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's still trying to figure out sound and all that because now, like from time to time, I'll have that shotgun mic. I've been trying to like limit its use a little bit, but as the ambient mic. But like, there will be times like during the live streams where it will turn to the right, and then all of a sudden you hear an echo of me because I'm right next to the camera. Correct, Alex?
Limits in your subconscious. I dig that.
But I mean, Alex can be able to attest to this, though. It is much different without the band playing in the games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like,
There's an instant mood change when the band plays.
oh yeah. And what else did we pick up on? Oh yeah, parents get really into basketball games.
Oh yeah. Like,
Yeah,
Oh
I know
my
what you mean. I
God.
know what you mean. That's
those
always
people next to us, I swear,
they can get pretty heated.
Oh yeah.
they
Well,
knocked over one of our camp.
by accident.
At that point, what do you have to say? Like, hey man,
Well, I mean, like I turned down the mic at one point and I said, "Dude, you gotta calm down."
chill. What are we looking at here? Maybe upwards of 9.
Hmm?
How expensive are these cameras?
I think the big one, the one that's on the bigger tripod, I think is like about 1,200, and then and then the little one, which was the one that was knocked over, because like the bleacher seating just vibrates when, and we're sitting in the visitor section, and of course the Wildcats are like doing wonderfully at home,
Doing
so
their
it's
thing.
so it gets the visitor section very frustrated, and they kick bleachers or something. But I mean, like, the other thing is though is that like without the band there, we don't have a way to be able to drown out voices.
Oh, so you pick up some of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, not necessarily like cursing or anything like that, but
That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they've been loud, right, Alex?
Like you've made a couple announcements a couple of times about how we're doing so much work to try and make the student section a lot more
Sportsmanlike.
sportsmanlike.
Yeah.
Why don't we do the same thing to the parents?
And there was one thing that you caught with the Pratt live stream is that as soon as I made that announcement, like what happened with
The
the
people like calm down because they're like,
It's important. We in the music world, there's like a thing that we call concert etiquette. So if we expect our students to come up on stage and look professional and get on and off quickly and play really well, if they're gonna do that, then like maybe the audience should have just a little bit of training as well.
Yeah.
Cell phones or
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and when I was in college and in high school, we always had an announcement of like turn off your cell phones
Turn
and
off
all
your
that.
cell
So
phone,
yeah, I think here, I mean, it's just more like, and I can't attest to our home side because number one, we're not seated
not
in the
on the
home,
home
yeah,
side.
but so I mean, I can't really say like onto that side, but I mean like seeing how like this year has gone through and there hasn't been like issues with signage or anything like that. Like our students know the expectations that we have for the for good sportsmanship conduct and all that. And it's just like like what would the people pick up though is like we're sitting on the visitor side. Well, they're not. The parents are not picking up on that same expectations because maybe our side, our parents, they hear that from our students and then they're like, okay, well, we've got to be good role models. We've got to be able to do this. And so it's like I think, like on the one hand, I mean, maybe we should have like, I mean, and I think this is something that we're playing around with. I know I talked to our administration about it, and I think it's something that we're going to play around with, like just like put a little announcement at the very beginning saying like, hey. High school basketball game. Referees all have other jobs. They're doing this. They're
people.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
people. And we're live streaming, so don't scream obscenities at people.
Smart.
Well,
So-
because I remember one of the games before they started, it was the announcer people down at the bottom. They were like, "Let the referees do their job," or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Smart.
yeah, I mean, it's like, if we're going to set these expectations for our students, I think we should have the same expectations for the community members that come in, or else we're ruining our own job. So
Yeah.
on that. So
I will say it's very cool to see a community rally behind a team or an
Oh, yeah.
activity or anything, and that like is definitely here at Haven. So
oh yeah.
I've been impressed and very grateful to be a part of the community at large here. So
It's been wonderful. Wildcat Nation. All
do we
right.
have a hand signal?
Huh?
Do we have a hand signal?
I can we like do the paw thing
Is
or
that a
something?
thing?
I don't know.
We need to work on that. Let's work on that. On this last.
The hand jive from Greece.
It's been a minute.
All right.
I'm not room. The only thing I remember from Greece is like at the beginning of the movie, the secretary to get their attention, she like beats on a. I have one of those bell things in my room.
Oh.
And that's it. I'm sure it's used for other things, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
On this last chip,
Mhm.
just to like mix it up a little bit, this is something I always ask my students whenever we do like get to know you games or whatever. What superpower, if you could have one, would you have and why?
All right.
So while we're dying on this last sauce,
If I can lift it up. There we go.
It's too heavy.
All the heat.
all right, where's the big boy?
There's
Probably,
two.
Probably this guy. Man, you got off easy. Yeah. What is
All
this
right.
last sauce? I think it's like karma sauce or something.
Carnival.
Oh,
Oh well, here we go. Let's go ahead and eat this. Say our superpower. And here we go.
tight. There we are.
Yep.
It's sharp. It's sharp.
That bites.
God.
Whoa, wow. Okay. I think my
Look at you, Mr.
Yeah.
Stuttering.
I stutter all the time. What are you
Look
talking
at the
about?
board. He's handling
Yeah,
it
I
like a pro.
know, man.
It's honestly not that bad. I think I just got a smaller chip.
I would want telekinesis.
Oh,
Just so I don't have to reset my room. Like by hand, I could just go. And then.
I want the same superpowers as Batman. Super rich.
Super rich. Ballin'.
Milk did not help on that one.
No, this one, I think you just gotta ride it out. How are you doing?
it's like I can feel it on my tongue, but it's not like melting.
This one hit us.
Yeah.
the most.
Dang.
My superpower for sure, I'll never be tired again. You know how much stuff I'll be able to get done without
Wow.
needing to sleep?
Wow.
Wow.
That's a power within itself.
The power of insomnia.
Mine's very smart. The ability to manipulate probability. Like say,
Oh,
if,
okay.
if say
Okay.
tomorrow I could say, oh yeah, I want 7 million in my bank account by tomorrow.
There's a
The
probability.
probability of that is 0, but if I can manipulate probability, I can make that probability 100. So tomorrow there would be 10 million in my bank account.
My secondary superpower would be if I can neutralize this heat that's stuck in between my teeth.
Yeah, mine's right on the flat of my tongue. And it's lunchtime now,
Yeah.
so maybe we can cut some of that heat now.
Probably. All right, guys. It's been Mr. Montes here. This has been the podcast. We're gonna go and cool off now. All right. We'll see you guys later. Give us the outro, Alex.
Bye.